Hey, welcome back guys, it's Crazy Boulder again, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my Galaxy Note 7. So, I did have this phone come in, and some of you may be wondering, well, why the hell would you keep this phone? You know, they're known for basically exploding and, having issues with batteries and so on and so forth, and overheating and all these other issues. And a large reason for that is because currently you can get a pretty good deal on these online if you can find them. Where the phone retailed in certain spots for like $800, currently you can grab one of these for like $500 or $600, which is a pretty decent chunk of change still. But all things considered, it's actually still a lot cheaper than when the phone originally launched. And considering that you're getting a great device, it's basically a steal. Now, the battery issue is still something that's definitely plaguing these phones, and mine's one of the versions that's manufactured in Korea, which means the battery manufacturer is SDI, which is a Samsung subsidiary. And those of you that have been following the issue know that that's the manufacturer that has made 70% of all these batteries, which tend to fail. And one of the biggest reasons that they fail is actually because during the production process, or sometimes during the assembly of the phone, either the bottom corner of the battery would get pinched right here, causing the cathode and the anode to connect, causing a thermal runaway, which would in turn basically cause catastrophic failure within the battery. Other times, the battery, when it was packed together, I'm assuming by the robots, would just basically get pressed together too much in certain spots, again causing that same issue as the crimping of the bottom corner of the battery would. So what am I going to do about this phone is basically I'm going to order a different battery, as well as a certain tool to open this phone up so that I'll be able to actually open the phone up, insert a new battery into it. Hopefully it's going to connect just fine. I've got a potential battery on the way already, and I'll do a video on that once I do get it running. So hopefully all of that's going to work out, and I'll basically just end up recycling the old battery to avoid having any of those issues, and I'm ultimately going to just basically end up, not using the phone in fast charge mode. Something else, the reason why I wanted to pick up this phone was actually for VR experiences, because this phone has the Qualcomm chip. It has 4x4 MIMO, which is a very fast Wi-Fi technology. You're able to get, I think, a maximum of something like 500 Mbps down with this phone, which is absolutely incredible, and also means that if you're using a VR application to stream a game to your phone, it will be incredibly fast. And if you don't want to use Wi-Fi, there's the USB-C, which can actually also push video to the phone. Now, the way that you would push the video to the phone is using an OTG cable. If you just plug in the USB-C, from what I've seen, it does not recognize anything. But hopefully it's going to make it work, and I'll be able to use it for playing a number of games in VR. I'll link my video on how to do that with your Android smartphone in the description so you can see how that's done. And also the other reason is ultimately this phone has HDR, which is incredible because this screen combined with games or even just watching movies in HDR would look absolutely amazing. And to make things even better, it has the ability to limit the amount of blue light that comes back into your eyes. And that's another big plus for this, because currently monitors, there aren't very many of them that have this feature, and those that are usually about $300. Maybe they'll go on sale this Black Friday, but, we'll have to see how that goes. And as far as I know, not even any of the current VR headsets, aside from maybe the Avegant Glyph, have a low amount of blue light. So this is another reason to pick up this phone, just for that alone, basically. As for those of you that are wondering, well, what about the updates, since none of them will be coming to this phone anymore from any of the carriers? Well, what you can actually do is you can basically jailbreak the phone, or install a custom ROM, which will allow you to get updates from the community, as well as potentially install the newest operating system, which should be Nougat or 7.0 on this phone at a later date. So if you're worried about not being able to update the phone, there's always that workaround of going with the community updated ROMs, which will allow you to get the latest security updates from Android, as well as also run the latest apps on this phone. Generally, there might be some incompatibility issues with the apps later on, with the phone's life, as obviously developers are probably not going to be supporting the phone as much, but we'll see. But that is an option for you out there if you want to go that route. And ultimately, I think it's a good option to kind of keep your phone up to date that way. You probably won't be able to stream from Amazon and Netflix that way, which would kind of negate the whole HDR portion of the content. But again, if you are able to stream that same content to your phone, say over USB-C, that you can still get that HDR content, it just won't be mobile. And so that's my update on this phone. Ultimately, I'll keep you guys, appraised as to what my progress is on the battery removal and replacement. And hopefully I'll get this phone up and running and be able to do some VR videos with it as well. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys later on.